Thanks for staying with us. The National Judicial Council last week recommended Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Kekere-Ekun, CFR, to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for appointment as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Kudirat Kekere-Ekun was born on May 7, 1958 in London, United Kingdom. In 1980, she received a bachelor's degree in law from the University of Lagos and was admitted to the Nigerian Bar 10th July 1981, having graduated from the Nigerian Law School before she proceeded to the London School of Economics, where she received a master's degree in law in November 1983. The jurists to join the Lagos State Judiciary as Senior Magistrate 2 and rose to the position of the State High Court Judge. She served as Chairman of Robbery and Firearms Tribunal Zone 2, Ikeja, between November 1996 and May 1999. She was appointed to the bench of the Court of Appeal in 2004 before her appointment as Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria in July 2013. In October 2022, President Muhammadu Buhari conferred on her the national honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR. What are the challenges before her Lordship when she takes over as the Chief Justice of the Federation? Dr. Sam Amadi, a Director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought and also a RISE analyst, is here to take a look at this issue. Very warm welcome to Newsnight,
Thank
Doctor.
you, Chris. Thanks.
And of course, this is your turf. And look at her Lordship resume, very, very rich. You wouldn't say this one was just thrown, to the top. She started from, the magisterial court.
I think that's good news because that means she's very familiar with judicial craft. So apart from the fact that she had good education, the master's degree from LSE, she started from a senior magistrate grade 2. So she is very conversant with the procedures, even techniques and issues around trial, around law. And of course she moved from tribunal firearm, which was delicate, sensitive.
Anti-robbery tribunal.
Tribunal, delicate, sensitive, and then conventional judge, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. So, learn the rope. So I think if anybody was fitting in terms of profile, I think she's very fitting. I mean, we had issue with the judge, the one who died before this last one, who they said came from the Sharia court, even though Sharia court is part of our jurisprudence, but not conventional court. But this one came from the conventional court. So that's a plus. And we are, unfortunately, the judiciary is in a terrible state. It didn't just start with the last Justice Ariwole. We saw with Onogan, it complicated, and then the next Chief Justice had short tenure, who created, signal tune was the technicalities, the issue around technicalities. So since then, it has been very nosedive in terms of public credibility, in terms of allegations. Don't forget that under the outgoing CJN, we had the Justice of the Supreme Court retiring and blasting the court, not just around quarrel over jurisprudence issue, but also about management, claiming dictatorship, claiming, the court being wrong without consensus and all that. So it's really a terrible time for the court. And then just last week.
So it's going to be a tough time, for
she's coming
Justice,
in. Exactly. But it's a good time.
A kind of cleansing.
Exactly. A bad time is a good time because for her, the momentum is now for her to do radical reform. So 3 issues stand out very clear. She has to beat into line erring judges. The difference between our judiciary and the American judiciary is that our judiciary has a centralized authority. The Chief Justice of Nigeria and this chairing the NJC has a kind of overdetermination power. She can really corral judges. She can set the tone. She can sit over discipline. She can create codes. But in the U.S., where you have multiple jurisdictions, Justice John Roberts doesn't have any power to really tag on courts from whether Massachusetts or New York or California, different things. But here, the good thing is that it's a centralized bureaucracy. So the Chief Justice can set a high tone, first with judges and their conduct. She can also deepen the rigor of the NJC, disciplinary process. Maybe remove it too much from the judge focus to, get other stakeholders in the judiciary to be part of monitoring and punishing erring judges. That's number one. Number two is public interest, public trust in the judiciary, and this is where jurisprudence will matter. We're living in a time where people are concerned about abuse of power. We've seen tendency, even among state governors, to go against the law, to use the law to penalize, imprison, detain political opponents. So the Supreme Court can reset jurisprudence by looking at, what do we need to protect freedom more? How do we increase democratization? So we're going to watch her. She can lead her colleagues to kind of turn around the jurisprudence to be more democratic. And we have experience with the military rule. When, at that time, the Supreme Court then, under ways at different time, Kayode Shaw, Obaseke, Puta, others, we are very diligent to find a way to regulate out of the constraint of military rule. So this could be a moment for my Lord, the Chief Justice now to lead a recreation of the jurisprudence to further grant our democracy.
That will really be a great revolution indeed. But one revolution that Nigerians are waiting for, in the judiciary is the digitization of the judiciary. It's still analog. Even their Lordship at the Supreme Court, they still write in longhand. Let's not go to the, the magistrate courts and the rest. Let us look at even filing, filing at the judiciary and the rest.
I think they need to enhance.
Why are we not there? In Kenya, you do not even need to go to the courts to file your cases. But Kenya.
You see, the Court of Appeal, for example, is fully digitalized in terms of records of judges. Court of Supreme Court, two things are not happening together. One is that the quality of judicial staff we have are also need to be upgraded. It's not just about getting gadgets. They have the dictaphone. They
need a judicial institute, a school.
They do have, but it's not functioning well. They have the judicial institute, but the problem is that
National Judicial Institute.
But see the problem. We are so hierarchical. The administrator will be a former retired judge. They don't fit the moment with the qualities. So you need to have people say, let's rethink the judiciary. For example, starting for judicial staff, qualifications to be there. Tackle with registrars.
Yes.
So you create a moment where you transform people from analog to, because if you have all the gadgets, as they do have,
the first female CGN complained about it and the rest, the kind of reform she brought to the Lagos judiciary when she was at the Federal High Court in Lagos and the rest, and rejigged the entire clerical...
Under Tinubu, by the way, Lagos judiciary and the Shubanja's Lagos judiciary really was innovative. So we need to...
want to see it all over the country. All over the country.
And again, the other one we missed out is that, look, they also need to deal with this corruption. I mean, it's appalling. It's terrible that United Nations Drug Commission and the MBS could say that the highest per capita bribe in Nigeria in 2024 went to the judiciary. So this judge can create a new code of conduct, and this is very important. Judges are over commingling with politicians. You see, whenever they give a judicial appointment, governors through a party. Why should governors through a party and judges attend those parties in honor of judges who have more to do against government? Let's not forget, the rule of law is actually more about citizens who need to protect from government, not to protect government from citizens. No. And that's why we also need to say, for example, do the judicial year, commencement of judicial year. You don't have to have governors, FCT minister come and address. A judicial year should be a judicial event where the chief judge of the state and the chief of the federation, other judicial officers and lawyers will sit to carry the rituals about
and find out.
Nothing should concern state governors. The executive branch, judicial branch, legislative branch, and the citizens are in some kind of rivalry. The judiciary is the odd fellow there, whose job is to oversee. So when the judiciary commingles on New Year, you see the FCT minister, for example, speaking again. Why should they no longer collect vehicles from governors? The judiciary is designed to be fiscally independent. So if they think that the budget is small, they should increase the budget. Stop saying the governor
Mr. President is giving them a new salary.
No, the point I'm making, there's no reason why the president or the governor of a state should say, I gave 15 vehicles to judges. Look, there must be clear and distinct separation between these two branches, and so that citizens who have cases against governors don't feel that they're going to a court of a man who is besotted, who is so grateful to judges. And so we need to see judges also retrieve themselves. So this new Supreme Court justice should prioritize a code of conduct. We've had in the US, for different reasons, where they're saying code of conduct because of judges, maybe ideological judicial. But in Nigeria, it's more needed because judges are becoming too much politically visible. That relationship between people in power and the judges destroy confidence in judiciary as the common man's best friend and last hope. So he has a great job cut for her, and she has a profile, she has experience.
She's making history again as the second female woman to be Chief Justice of Nigeria. Great inspiration for the young girls and women folk in the country. I think that
the female folk have done a lot well in Nigerian law. They have grounds to cover on that. But if you look at the number of senior advocates, since when we started having the first senior advocate, women are every day pulling their weights. As judges now, we're happy we had great judges for the Supreme Court. Algier, we had
Aloba Mukhtar,
and now a second Chief Justice of the Federation. I think probably this is where we're better than the US and elsewhere. It took the Americans a long time to have female justice on the bench. Up to now, they don't have a female Supreme Court. I've not had a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the US. We are first on that. The same way you look at some of the appointments, we have done maybe better in many ways. So I think that the gender justice, this should be an inspiration for activists to say, okay, we need to push more women. Maybe the next frontier will be President of Nigeria and Governor of a state, which is more scalable. We should have. So I think so far, her story is an inspiration that if you work hard as a young lawyer, you could end up like
at
the top.
Yeah.
And I think as a woman, we used to, when I was at Harvard Law School, we had the first female dean. The school changed, the landscape changed. So women are great achievers. They don't understand intuitively.
They have that charisma,
they
great managers.
Intuitively the issue around values. So while men may be muscular in pursuit of wealth, and the women are much more sophisticated.
They radiate great auras.
Exactly. And so she can recreate this judiciary by understanding that sense in which the poor guy, the weak person, the vulnerable person feels that this court is not for me. And she could, like a mother, kind of feminize, if you like, this over-masculine court that
environment
is probably, helping governors and politicians and rich people as against the poor people in the way public perception is. So that's the job for her. I think she can rise up. Above all, she should just see criticism as supportive and not like the previous ones.
As antagonism.
Feel that everybody who criticizes the court should be slammed, should be crucified, or should be jailed or rusticated or stuck out of the bar. That's not the way to go.
Thanks so very much, Associate Professor of Law, Arise Analyst, and Director of Abuja Center
School of Social
and Political Thoughts. Thank you. Dr. Sam Amadi, thank you.